In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to add Half-Life to your PlayStation Classic hack through BleemSync. This is Steve from Restalgia, and let's get started. Alright guys, so before we get started, there is something that I want to mention. This installation is going to be specific for BleemSync. So if you're on Autobleem, hang tight. I am going to work on getting you guys a tutorial on how to get it running up on Autobleem. But for right now, I've only got a workthrough for BleemSync set up. I'm hoping to have Autobleem done in the next couple of days, and I'll post that as soon as that's done, so definitely hang tight for that. A couple things that I want to mention for this build as well. Really simple, nice and easy to do. However, you are going to need Half-Life installed on your PC, and that can be either through Steam, or if you've got a torrent of it, or you've got it some other way. It doesn't really matter how you get Half-Life on your computer. There are 1,000 ways to do it. Some are more expensive than others, but either way, as long as you've got Half-Life on your PC, you can get this set up properly, and there's not really anything difficult to do with it. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to navigate over to Reddit, where this has been posted. So we've got Xash3D, and forgive me if I've said that incorrectly, but I think it's Xash3D. That has now been ported to the PlayStation Classic. I want to give a big shout out to Advocaten. He is fantastic. He does awesome videos on YouTube. He's a great support user for Reddit, and he's fantastic on Discord. He's a great guy, so definitely huge thanks to him. As well as the creators of Xash3D. It's fantastic to see that we're able to get games like Half-Life to be able to run on our PlayStation Classic. It's just really cool. So really quickly, setup installation, all we need to do is download this xash3d.zip file. We're going to click on that, and I'm just going to go ahead and save that directly to my desktop. So it's a very small file. What I'm going to go ahead and do is minimize my web browser, and I'm just going to pull this over from my other screen here. So here it is. I'm going to right click on that, and I'm going to extract it to its own folder. So that's done. I just got to pull it over from my other screen as well. And when we open it up, you're going to notice there should be two folders in here. So we've got a BleemSync folder, and we've got an Xash folder. So if we double click on BleemSync, inside etc, inside BleemSync, and then inside sup, then we've got our launcher for our Xash3D. And then if we go all the way back, when we open up Xash, we've got a Valve folder, and then we've got a couple config files. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the root of the drive. We're just going to stay right here, and I'm going to minimize this for now. I'm going to go ahead and pop my USB drive that has my BleemSync 1.1 build in it, and that's important that you're running the latest version of BleemSync. So if you're currently using an older version, definitely upgrade to that, and I'll leave a link in the description down below if you guys have not done that and you need a video. So as I mentioned, I'm just going to go ahead and pop up my USB drive, which is right over here. And I'm going to stick it over to the side of the screen, and I'm going to go ahead and grab, where is it? There it is. So all we actually have to do is just click and drag this over to the root of our drive. So what's going to happen is it's going to install the launcher in the BleemSync folder, and it's going to add the Xash folder onto our USB drive. And it doesn't take long at all. It's not a big file, so that's all done. Now, what we need to do is we need to copy some files over from our PC version of Half-Life. So, what we need to do is we need to locate that. I've installed mine exactly the stock way you would install it if you were to throw the CD in there or download it online. You're just going to go into your C drive, then you're going to go into Program Files, and you're going to go into the x86 Program Files folder. And then you are going to go ahead and scroll down and look for Valve. And then inside of that, you've got your Half-Life folder. You'll double click on the Half-Life folder. And then inside here is where you've got your next Valve folder. So you need to double click on the Valve folder. And all of this information here is what we need to copy over to our USB drive. It doesn't take very long. It's not really big or anything. I mean, it's a few files, but it doesn't take very long at all. So on our BleemSync USB drive, we're going to open up our new Xash folder, and we're going to open up the Valve folder. As you can see, there's a bunch of pre-configured files, and there's already a bunch of stuff in here. What we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to move over everything from our computer onto our USB drive. However, we are not going to override the files that are the same, or override the files with the same name. So we're going to go ahead and select everything here. We're going to click and drag it over to our USB drive. And this is going to take a few minutes to do, so I'm going to go ahead and skip forward. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. It says the destination has 9 files with the same names. We can either replace the files in the destination, skip these files, or let me decide for each file. We're going to skip these files. This is very important. If you replace the files in the destination, you're going to override all the configuration that's needed for the PlayStation Classic. So please do not do that. Skip these files, and it's going to finish up, and we are about done. So that's all that we needed to do. Keep in mind your Half-Life file on your PC is completely untouched. If you do play it on your computer, you can totally keep picking it up. Nothing's changed. You haven't transferred any files off your computer in the sense that they've been removed. They're all still there. You've just made copies of them. So we're going to go ahead and close that. And now we've got our USB drive with our BleemSync build on it, and we can close that as well. All we need to do now is pop our USB drive back into our PlayStation Classic and boot it up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'm going to show you guys what this looks like. Alright guys, so now that we are on the boot menu for our BleemSync build, there's a couple things that I want to touch base with you guys about first. The first thing I'm going to make note is I currently have my PlayStation 4 controller plugged into my PlayStation Classic. The reason I'm using a PlayStation 4 controller is because this, right now, the current configuration for Half-Life was designed or developed with the PS4 controller in mind, because you want to use your dual analog. You absolutely can use the PlayStation Classic controller, however, you do need to go into the configurations and remap those buttons. I find it much easier just to pop in a PS4 controller. Hopefully you guys have one of those at home, and that is what I would recommend generally. I don't know if Xbox has been tested yet. As far as I know, the only 2 controllers that have been tested are PS4 and PlayStation Classic, but the default configurations are for the PlayStation 4 controller. So that's what I'm going to use for this demo here. We're going to press X. Alright, so here we are. Everything's loaded up. As you can see, I've got all of my games here. And everything looks proper, but if you scroll back over to the beginning, you'll see just to the left there's going to be a Half-Life with a PlayStation emblem on the side. Now, as you guys know, I don't think this game was ever released for PlayStation. It was definitely out on the PlayStation 2 and for PC, of course, but what they've gone ahead and done is designed custom artwork that would kind of match all the other PlayStation CD cover art. So I definitely think that works, especially considering you've got all the other art and it just kind of fits in now. As you can see, it says Half-Life, the developer is Mod My Classic, and the release date is 1998. I absolutely love that they've gone ahead and done that and put a little Easter egg in there for Mod My Classic that's done the development on this. It's fantastic, and I certainly appreciate that. But that's it. All we got to do is press X to play. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to stop talking so you guys can actually see a little bit of demo footage. I'm not going to do too much and bore you guys, but I am going to show you guys that it does work and it runs really well. There isn't really any drops in frames per second. It plays really, really well, and I'm highly impressed with this. So I'm going to go ahead and stop talking, and we're going to check out Half-Life on the PlayStation Classic.
Immediate openings are available in the areas of materials handling and low clearance security. Please contact Black Mesa personnel for further information. If you have an associate with a background in the areas of theoretical physics, biotechnology, or other high-tech disciplines, please contact our civilian recruitment division. The Black Mesa Research Facility is an equal opportunity employer. A reminder to all Black Mesa personnel. Regular radiation and biohazard screenings are a requirement of continued employment in the Black Mesa Research Facility. Missing a scheduled urinalysis or radiation checkup is grounds for immediate termination. If you feel you have been exposed to radioactive or other hazardous materials in the course of your duties, contact your radiation safety officer immediately. Work safe. Work smart. Your future depends on it. Now arriving at Sector C test labs and control facilities. Please stand back from the automated door and wait for the security officer to verify your identity. Before exiting the train, be sure to check your area for personal belongings. Thank you, and have a very safe and productive day.
Morning, Mr. Freeman. Looks like you're running late.
Hello, Gordon Freeman. It's good to see you.
Hey, Mr. Freeman. I had a bunch of messages for you, but we had a system crash about 20 minutes ago, and I'm still trying to find my files. Just one of those days, I guess. They were having some problems down in the test chamber, too, but I think that's all straightened out. They told me to make sure you headed down there as soon as you got into your hazard suit.
Greetings. Hello. Freeman. This is all within theoretical limits. Why do we all have to wear this ridiculous mask?
Welcome to the HEV Mark IV Protected Systems.
Standard specimens. Go ahead, Gordon. Slot the carrier into the analysis port. Gordon, get away from the feet.
Shutting down. No. Attempted shutdown. It's not. It's not shutting down. It's not.
Alright guys, so that's pretty much it. So the game runs extremely well. I'm super happy with it. I think you guys are going to have a lot of fun playing this game. I do want to make note that they've mapped the L2 button to quick save. There is no quick load option, but if you want to save your game right from within the actual game while you're playing, you just hit the L2 button and it'll save your progress. But that's all I'm going to show you guys for this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Give the video a thumbs up. Share this video with any of your friends that have a PlayStation Classic that might be into it. And I will talk to you guys again real soon.